Hello, hello. Welcome to our Thursday night event with Miss Amanda here. We're so glad you're here. I'm Nikki. And like I said, this is Amanda. And together we are on a mission to uncover the truth about sugar and addiction and help people heal from the inside out. So originally, this event was called Sugar Monsters, and it was for a reason, because many of us, sugar is the first addiction, one that doesn't get talked about enough, nearly enough.
Yep. So whether it's alcohol or binge eating or even just, the energy roller coaster ride from soda and sweets, sugar obviously plays a major role in that. And here's the kicker, it actually hijacks our brain just like other substances. So what it does is it spikes dopamine, it crashes our blood sugar, and messes kind of with our gut health, which is a big thing that we talk about a lot, and keeps you in this cycle of cravings and guilt.
It really, the whole dopamine thing still amazes me. And for so many people in recovery, myself included, sugar cravings come in like a hot rod once we stop drinking. It's real. And, it's not about willpower, you guys. There really is a gut brain connection behind these cravings. And that's where Plexus came in for me. That's where Plexus has come in for a lot of people. That's what we're going to about tonight. And we're so excited, not really only to share some like science, but real stories of hope and healing when it comes to the Plexus.
Obviously, as nurses, Nikki and I love the science, but yes, definitely, it's super interesting. We have three amazing and awesome guest speakers who have agreed to come, and they've been kind of where we are, where you are, where you may be, and they've come out the other side feeling so much better and stronger and free of those cravings. So I wanted to hit you up with a few quick facts that kind of blew Nikki and I's mind when we were kind of learning more about the role of sugar and addiction. The first one is that sugar lights up the brain's reward center more than cocaine in some studies that have been done. So that is like huge. That's like saying a lot. And then the other thing that really kind of made me just whoa, was 70% of processed foods. And we all know that processed foods are everywhere. So we might not think that we're addicted to sugar or are getting, all of that extra added sugar to things, but 70% of processed foods have added sugar. So most of us, or a lot of us, are addicted to it and we don't even know it.
That number is so high. It's so disgusting. So disgusting. So yes, from alcohol to Red Bull, we are covering all the bases tonight and how Plexus has been such a powerful tool, not just for the energy, digestion, inflammation, but really for breaking the cycle of the sugar addiction side. So our first speaker tonight, he's actually my husband. He's actually also my best client that I've had since day one. He's the most consistent, and it shows. It shows the way he's lost weight, the way he shows up on his day to day routine, and how he's breaking his cycle of his addiction with his caffeine. So I'm gonna let him swap with me. Take it away, baby.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? So I guess I'm just an honest person. I'm a very blunt person, so I'm just gonna go right into it. Number one, I kind of fought this for quite some time. Didn't think much of it. The more I thought about it, and the more I thought about my past and my family's history, with diabetes, heart failure, whatnot, it just made more and more sense. A little background about me growing up. I've been an athlete my entire life, but that being said, my father, my mother, both what you would call a 3-pack a day smokers. Something I never picked up, thank God. But it did kind of go hand in hand with soda and Bad food. I'm from South Texas originally. Fried chicken, chicken fried steak, Mexican food is what I grew up on. It's what I love. I still do. What I have found with Plexus is I can still eat all that kind of stuff in moderation, obviously, and it kind of weeds out all that bad stuff without a lot of extra stuff going on. My dad died from diabetes and heart and kidney failure. He was a smoker, but he also drank. I don't know if anybody's from South Texas, but they have 3 liters in South Texas. He drank a 3 liter of Coke every day without fail. I grew up in the same mold, and I finally had to say, I got to change something. And I finally did. And I started taking my stack, which I've changed how I do it numerous times. But just for everybody's info, my routine, I take 2 Metaburn a day, along with basically what I do is I stack the active and the slim together, and I drink it with 1 bottle of water. And then what I've changed is to get more water intake, because I'm very bad about my water, is I've added my hydrate to another bottle of water. So I drink those two at the same time. Gets me a little bit more intake, and it has made a big difference having the extra water. So that's kind of where I'm at. How long are we at now? How long have I been taking?
It's been a year.
Yeah, about a year. So yeah. I've lost about 30 pounds. The 30 pounds is one thing. For me, though, I've always had, because of my background, I'm a restaurant guy. I work late nights. I get up early, back and forth. I eat late. I eat at midnight. I don't do that anymore because of my schedule, which is really nice. But at the time, I was eating horribly and eating at midnight and then going to bed. And I would wake up with this hard, just bloating feeling at the top of my stomach at all times. It never went away. You could see me after I ate, after I used the restroom, whatever it was, it didn't matter. It was the same. That's what's been the biggest difference for me with Plexus. I don't have that anymore at all. It just kind of has cleaned all that bacteria out that I've probably sat on for way too long. So it has given me a big fresh start on my gut as far as just all of that. I'm a Gatorade freak. I've lived on it my entire life. It's just part of my life. But the Plexus has helped because I love the blueberry hydrate. And I've actually started to drink more of the hydrate with water than I do sometimes with the Gatorade, which, it's a baby step kind of thing. It's not going to be an overnight thing. So those kind of things for me have been a game changer. My wife obviously pushes me real hard to take my stuff consistently. That is my advice to everybody. Find a routine. Do it the same every day. Don't say, oh, I'll forget or I'll do it later. You won't. Trust me, you won't. So for me, it's I get up in the morning. As soon as I get to work, I do my 2 waters. I get them cold. I like them ice cold. I will not drink them warm. So find what you like. Experiment with the product a little bit. There's a lot of different products as well. So what I've learned with my wife is, if I don't like something, let's find something I do like. Because I'm not going to lie, I don't like the slim. So I've got to mix it with something else. But when I mix it with the active, I do the peach mango active. It's phenomenal. And I crave that actually every day now. So for me, it's been a big change in how I do things in general. But it's also been, I'm a routine person. I do the same thing every day, all day. And if you just make it part of that, it's easy. It really, and then you see, for me, it's been just a fall off of weight, but also I concentrate. I can tell the difference as soon as I drink my drink for the day and I take my Metaburn. My concentration is much better. And I usually do that really early in my shift, but it makes a big difference. And it's not for everybody. You got to find, which one works for you. But that's my advice to everybody is try. Don't just give up on the first one that you get. It may not work. Find a different flavor. Find something that you enjoy more that you can mix with something else or another product and go from there. I used to drink Red Bull, but I don't drink Red Bull at all anymore. I haven't had one in it's been over a year and a half now. So the active has taken its place, and it's a big difference and a big, weight off my shoulders that I'm in much better health. So that's my advice to everybody. Thank you for listening, taking time tonight. I'm going to bed because I get up at 4 a.m. every morning. So good night to everybody. I love you all. Take care. All right.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Todd. That's awesome. I can relate to so many of those things with just definitely nursing school fed my Diet Coke addiction. I was very much, in fact, don't
Mm.
remember days where I just never even drank any water. And I actually love water. So um, it wrecks your stomach. And I was always left hungry. So that was interesting. So we're learning that sugar kind of feeds that candida and bad bacteria in our gut, which can then send signals to our brain to crave more. So that's kind of how that cycle just keeps on going. Um, so next we're excited to really have Allie here, who's been through the battle, and so many of us face with sugar cravings and kind of just that feel of impossible to control. She has tried all the things, but nothing truly helped her until she started working on that gut-brain connection that we kind of talked about. So tonight she's sharing how Plexus helped her finally find a balance, the freedom and the control over her sweet tooth. So please give it up for Miss Allie. She's here to tell us all about her experience.
Y'all, thank you for having me. This is so fun. And I love that y'all are nurses because I also was a nurse. I'm not working as a nurse right now, but I did for over a decade. And yeah, I feel majorly gypped, y'all, that nobody taught me in nursing school anything about gut health, yeast overgrowth, never. So I was just thinking I was lacking a lot of self-control and willpower. I'd always had a sweet tooth. And y'all, it would be, I don't know if you've ever been like, okay, I'm cutting out sugar. I'm gonna do it. I did this like naturally slim program. They like offered it through the hospital to the staff. And they said, treat sugar like an island. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, how often do you go to an island? I was like, oh, okay. All right. And the first time I did it, it was pretty easy, but it was harder and harder. I feel like I would have it, and then it was like this slippery slope where now I'm craving it after every meal. I'm like, dang it. It just felt so hard. And then, I had kids, harder. The older I got, harder. And so after I had my second baby, I went back to night shift. And I don't know if you've ever worked night shift, but I feel like that level of exhaustion, um, just hard on your body. And just my skin was a mess. And I had no idea that could be connected to my gut. And I did not want to have to go back on shots for my skin to like keep it clear. And my friend had shared some stories with me. And there was like 4 months difference, 6 months difference in these before and afters of people's skin. And I'm like, okay, all right. Either I'm going to give myself these shots again, which I do not want to do for the rest of my life, or I'm going to try this gut health stuff and see. And I was like, I'm going to give it at least like 4 to 6 months with these pictures. I was like, I'm going to give it time. Y'all, 3 days in, I'm at my neighborhood ladies' night, and everybody is raving about these brownies. They're like, oh, they're so good, Allie. You have to have them. And I was like, I'm actually okay. And I didn't even recognize myself, y'all. I was like, kind of looking over my shoulder, like, who am I right now that I'm like turning these down? Because if you've ever worked in an environment with a break room, people love to give nurses and teachers, they're like, oh, room 711 brought us donuts. Dr. So-and-so brought us baklava. I'm like, no. So there was always something there. So to be finally able to be like, I'm good, or like have just a couple bites and be like, oh, that's real sweet. That was one thing I noticed is like what I used to be able to binge or what I like was craving. Like I knew where all the mini candies were on the floor. I knew where the little bite-sized Snickers were in the lactation office or in the supervisor's office in this cabinet. And it's looking back, I'm like, I was a true addict. Um, and now I feel like I finally have a healthy relationship with sugar where I'm not finding myself binging on it. And just shocked that like, wow, I needed to address my gut and my blood sugar and things were just going to even out. And I think as a nurse too, I don't know if anybody else on here is a skeptic. I was just like, how can it be that simple? Like, surely it has to be more complicated than this. I remember asking my friend, I'm like, how is this doing this? She's like, telling your friend, blood sugar balance. And so, yeah, I've been on them for 7 years now. Started with the triplets. I've added things in, obviously. But it helped me tremendously. And now I won't stop talking about it and I won't ever stop taking it because I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to like feeling like the busted can of biscuits and puffy. I look back at pictures, I'm like, I was so puffy. Where were my eyeballs? But you just don't know what you don't know. So that's my story.
The whole eyeball thing, I see that a lot in this on this team, and everybody like, oh, we see your eyeballs again. And girl, I have to tell you, I resonate with so many people tonight because recovered alcoholic, and I was eating boxes of ho-hos for dinner, girl. Packed six. I get it. It's disgusting. And you don't, and you feel bad afterwards,
Oh, absolutely. You beat yourself up and then
Mhm.
you find yourself in the break room again. Oh, they delivered Tips Treats cookies, the warm ones. Dang it. Quit bringing them in here.
Even the Panera. You
Gosh.
can't even have Panera. It's like 1,200 calories for a bagel and cream cheese. Like, okay,
Yes.
fine.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, girl. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you've found a slice off of that life, man. Because yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what can happen. Your A1C will go up, and it'll go up quick. It'll go up quicker than anything else with that diet. So, all right, we last but not least, we're going to hear from Miss Nicole, a powerhouse who has walked through alcohol recovery and is now using her story to inspire others. And I'm already inspired by this little nugget myself. So, Miss Nicole Musso, are you here? You are
I
up, my
am
dear.
I am here. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I'm so excited to share a little bit of my story. So, as Nikki said, I would have told you I was my healthiest version of myself. I was working out every day. I was eating super healthy. I had just started with Plexus, but I was drinking wine every single night, like going through a box of wine a week, drinking it every single night to calm my anxiety, to do all of these other things. I convinced myself that it was normal. It's what all moms did. I bought into that lie for a really long time. And then in June of 2023, the Lord called me to stop drinking. So I walked away cold turkey. And what I wasn't expecting was that with that, I was going to be trying to fill that void with other unhealthy things for my body. So I stopped drinking, but that time at night where I would be drinking my wine and doing whatever now needed to be filled with something else. And I developed this like terrible nighttime snacking habit that I couldn't shake. Like I would put the kids to bed, and instead of drinking a glass of wine, I would go downstairs and I would like go through the pantry. I would eat their snacks. I would eat cookies. I would eat whatever. I wasn't hungry. It didn't even taste good, but it was this habit that I had gotten myself into because I was trying to fill a void really that only the Lord could fill, but I was trying to fill this void of this habit that I had walked away from. And what I ended up doing is I ended up doing a 40-day sugar fast, which if you've never done that, I highly suggest it. It was amazing. And what I didn't realize in doing this was how much sugar was in literally everything. It's in chicken sausage. It's in condiments. It's in everything. And getting intentional about realizing the reign that sugar had become over my life by doing this, I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to stop this? So, what I ended up doing is I started to drink 2 Slims a day and I spaced them out into time periods where I found that I was reaching for something because I wasn't hungry, but because my body was craving a sugar hit or something like that. So, I would drink 2 of the pink drink a day and I would space them out. And maybe it didn't look exactly the same every single day, but instead of reaching for something out of the pantry, I would mix up a slam. I would call it my mocktail and I would drink it while I was making dinner, and it was wonderful. But I would say that the main product that really, really replaced that nighttime snacking habit for me was Restore. And if you've not yet tried Restore, it is incredible. I call it my nightly liver detox tea. It kicked my nighttime snacking habit. It kicked my cravings. I was no longer, putting the kids to bed, so excited to get back down to go through the pantry. I would make my cup of Restore. I would sit down, and that would be how I finished my night. And it changed so much for me. And I'm telling you, it was like an instant fix. I started to drink it. I was no longer trying to fill that void by shoving my face with crap that was terrible for me. I was doing something that was good for my body, that had me sleeping like a dad and feeling my absolute best every single morning when I woke up, instead of feeling like, why did I do that again? and the guilt and the shame that comes along with all of that. So I am grateful for forever for Plexus for 9 million different reasons. But when it comes to sugar addiction and binge eating and walking away from drinking into habits that also didn't serve me, Plexus has been a complete game changer for me. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm reading the chat. I make it and I go upstairs and I would drink it and I would read my Bible and go to bed. So like I would say like
Okay. So
an
it
hour
kind
maybe
of,
before bed. It became part of my nighttime routine and it replaced what the snacking looked like and it replaced what the drinking had looked like for me.
okay. So if someone has, let's say, like a nighttime thing where they don't have any drinking issues or whatever, or they're past that stage, they go to bed, let's say they wake up at, midnight, 1 a.m. with this raging sweet tooth. When would you recommend drinking that red store or the restore?
I would try to make it something that happens before bed because there are ingredients in it that are for like almost like that the appetite piece for sure.
Okay.
And for me, what I do is I drink that, I read my Bible, I brush my teeth, and then I go to bed. I never had I never personally have walked through waking up in the middle of the night and wanting to eat something. For me, it was right before, like it was right after I put my kids to bed, like as I was settling down for the night. That's when I would notice that.
Okay.
And then I start my morning with 2 Metaburn and Slim. I do my workout and then I'll drink another Slim like mid-afternoon, which is actually when I first started drinking Slim. I was a teacher prior to working Plexus full time. And I would notice that I would be driving home from school and I would be super tired. And then I would get home and want to eat every single snack, even just like in that time between lunch and dinner. So when I first started using Plexus and the pink drink, I would drink it on my drive home so that by the time I got home, I no longer wanted to eat every single thing that was in my house. And then I was able to make dinner, eat a nutritious dinner, and then move on with the rest of my day.
Not live off of sugar forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks,
Awesome.
sis.
That was so good. I love that, there's just powerful stories in each piece of those testimonies, and just proof that real healing happens when we support our bodies from the inside out. And I think they all had just great stories that kind of prove that.
For sure, 100%. I mean, we covered the sugar, the caffeine, the alcohol, all three. Some people have all three. I mean, let's be honest. And it's not about shame. It's about understanding what's really going on in the body. And let's be honest, it's about finding the tools that work. I'll be first to say I needed help. And I think all of us needed help here. I could not, you can't shake it on your own. So why not go out and find something that helps your gut health, your blood sugar balance, your nervous system regulation? This is what Plexus supports. And that's what's helped so many others to just get to a better place of health.
Yeah, and I love that it's, we're plant-based and getting back to just the way that God created us. It's not another pharmaceutical thing that is we're feeding our body with. So that is all so awesome. So thank you all for being here. So whether you're kind of just starting to explore this or you're like deep in your own recovery journey, just know that you are not alone. We are here as this large community here, just ready to support you.
And also, we have tonight, we would love to offer anybody that's joined or watching, wants to become a member, wants to try the products, if you will. We are doing a free year. We'd love to offer a free year membership that allows you to receive tons of benefits, which 25% off, additional $15 off when you place your order in the next few days. And just get back with whoever invited you to this for the savings. And thank you guys so much. I hope you learned a lot, and this is recorded, so we'll have it for that. And thank you all for joining.